You're listening to Fantasia The Talkshow. This is a YouTube exclusive with Jordan Graham, who's presenting his movie Sator here at Fantasia. First interview ever for a movie. Are you nervous? Come on, it's a great film.
Thank you. Oh, it's not about the film, it's just...
It's about the setting.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about your movie. It's a horror movie with a dysfunctional family who is isolated in the woodlands, and there's a spirit involved in it that's guiding the family, but mainly the grandmother, who is Nina. Where came this? Nani, sorry. Yeah, here you go, I messed it up. What was the inspiration for this movie? It seemed very personal.
Well, she was the inspiration. The movie didn't really have anything, the original story didn't have anything to do with her. And so she was, I did a cameo. We decided to shoot in her house, and I wanted to, let's just have a cameo of her real quick. And then she started talking about automatic writings. Do you know what automatic writings are?
Yeah.
So she started talking about that and how she had spirits in her head. And I was like, oh, this is a lot more interesting.
So this is based on a real person?
It's my grandmother.
It's your real grandmother in the movie.
Yeah.
So
Sorry.
But not in the movie, but the documentary piece we see at the beginning, right?
Oh, at the beginning, yeah. Well, in real life, it is my grandmother.
Okay.
Was my grandmother? She passed 3 months ago.
Sorry.
And Sator, I didn't create the name Sator. That was an entity that came into her head in 1968.
Okay.
I guess voices are something that are in my family's generations. My great-great-grandmother had voices in her head and ended up in a psychiatric hospital. My great-grandmother had voices in her head and ended up killing herself because of it. And my grandmother, when she was 40, summer of 1968, she found a Ouija board, and Sator ended up coming through that. And from that July to August, Sator convinced her that she was Eve, not Adam and Eve. She convinced her that she was Eve, and she ended up in a psychiatric hospital herself.
Whoa.
And so while making this movie, she wasn't going to be part of it. And Sator actually didn't come until post-production on this film. And her dementia got she couldn't take care of herself anymore, so we put her in a care home. And I was going through her closets and cleaning them out, and I found these 2 boxes. One box was all of her automatic writings. So with the 3 months, she wrote thousands of pages of automatic writings just sitting there in 3 months. And then
they were logical? Was it can you read through it, or?
You can. Well, I had a hard time reading through it, but she also had a 1,000-page journal that documented every single day of what Sator did to her. And so and it describes every little bit of those automatic writings. So you definitely have notes.
So the movie, in a way, is you need to exercise this family story.
Yeah, a bit. And since she was having her there, it's a fictional story, but having her there, I wanted her to actually talk about it, because that brings such a real aspect. Yeah. Exactly. And then it's okay, I want to make this as personal to me and talk about her as possible.
Okay. Let's talk a bit about the setting, because anybody went to the forest in the woodland at some point in their life, they can be fascinated by the forest, but they can be also scared. And the way you shot the movie, I felt that you have a respect, for the forest and nature. So when you were younger, while filming the movie, were you inspired by nature? Is it some one of the aspects?
No, a long time ago, I was shooting on high-8 cameras or mini DV cameras, and I hated shooting in the forest because all the light coming through just made the footage look awful. And that was one of the rules that I had in this movie, is that we can't have any light coming through the trees. So we'd be out there from early in the morning or at night waiting for the sun either to go behind the trees or having the fog cover them, so you can actually see everything. Because I wanted to be able to see everything.
And you've been doing this product. You did everything. You wrote it, you directed it, you produced it, you filmed it. for 5 years. Can you talk a little bit about the process?
Yes. Well, yes, I shot it all basically by myself. There was some times that I had a person that would assist me with really basic tasks.
Okay.
Like I was on like a back of a truck, so someone had to drive that truck. There was like, it was raining, so I had someone have an umbrella. Yeah. I built the cabin in my mom's backyard, and so I would be out there shooting, and if I needed somebody to come and turn on the fog machine real quick, she'd be watching her shows, and I'd
call your mom.
Yeah, I mean, she was just in the house. I mean, it was at her house, so it was in her backyard, and so she'd be watching her shows. I'd go in there, can you come out, please, and turn on the fog machine while stuff goes on, and then, yeah. So that's basically the amount of help I had. But with audio, yes, so everything you hear in the movie, besides my grandmother speaking and the flashback stuff, was all done in post, and I recorded everything from scratch by myself. I didn't use any sound libraries or anything. It took me a year and 3 months.
You compose also the music for the movie.
Music, if it's music, yes.
Yeah. Were you listening to something when you were writing it, or when you were thinking
with the music?
Yeah.
No, I'm not. Like I tried playing notes. I don't know what I'm doing when it comes to that.
Wow.
So basically, all the music was I had a bass guitar and a violin bow, and just started playing and making sound. And then I had pots and pans and nuts and bolts. So I would put a mic underneath a pot, rub the top of it. Sometimes there are rivets on there, so I'd scrape the rivets really quickly and then slow it down and make this like sound. And then like there's like a drum beat in there. That's just me dropping nuts and bolts in the pot.
I'm amazed. You did everything in that movie. It works so well.
Thank
you. It's a very, like we said, like a very personal movie, unique movie. Sator. Is there some distribution coming out, or do you know?
I'm still searching.
Look at that camera. Say you're looking for this.
Which one?
Both of them. Any of them. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
First interview, you did great.
Yeah. So now I'm eased into it now.
We can talk.
I'm ready to keep going, but it's all good.
We can talk. Okay. Jordan Graham for Sator. Thank you for tuning in.
I'm feeling great. This is my very first time doing anything like this. I've never been to a festival before, so it's very new and a little overwhelming, but I'm getting used to it. So I'm really hoping I can get a career out of this. And having like that man shake my hand and tell me that the sound design was just a character in itself, that made me, yes, maybe I have something. Maybe people are gonna care to see what I have next, I hope.